In this video, we're going to discuss Java string class, which is designed to hold fragments of text, as well as operations available on strings, and also individual characters, also elements of Java library, for example, the scanner class that would allow us to enter numerical and text values from the keyboard. And we'll just take a quick look at some of the Java API, application programming interface, which is our access to Java library. So the string is the data type to manipulate strings of text. Strings of text or fragments of text are just sequence of characters. Generally speaking, when we specify literal string, it's included in double quotation marks, and strings can be empty with no characters, and logical length of string is the number of characters that it holds. So let's start with some examples. Once again, I have already a project open in my NetBeans environment. So the first thing that I'd like to do, as always, I just close it because this is something we did last time, and I will just go ahead and create new project. Should be easy. Java with and Java application. This is my week 3 name for the work that we do, and this time I can just ask this wizard to create a main class for me, but my habit is to change the name of the main class to be main app, so this way I can recognize it very easily when I add more files to my project. So create new main class, the same location, new name for this week. So this is a pretty straightforward structure of the project. It would be advisable that in your coding, when you write meaningful programs, you provide some information at the top explaining what this program intended to do. For us, I'm just going to get rid of these comments right at the top and some of these Java docs as well, so we can focus on the code. This also can go away. My casual habit is to use names of my classes and mark these closing brackets with so that they correspond between one another, and same for methods such as main. Just mark the closing brace with the corresponding name. So when these methods grow longer than one page, it's quite difficult to distinguish all these closing brackets from one another. So this helps reading your code. And so let's start using strings. String looks like this. String is a data type which is available in our code, and this will be the name of the string object, and we can initialize it with a text hello. Okay, so this is a string, and if I want to display it, print line string. str is the name of the object. So you would expect that this code will print hello. If I try running this real quick, so here it is, our greeting that gets printed. But I also would like to explain to you that the string in Java, a string is an object. It is not a primitive data type. Remember, primitive data types are individual characters, integers, double values, Boolean values. A string is an object. This means that it's allocated by Java compiler when we provide a string of characters like this, is not a primitive data type. is not a very primitive object. It's a complicated object that comes with lots of functionality and behaviors. So in other words, when this text is parsed by the compiler that processes the source file, at runtime this object will be created for us, and I draw it like a box right here, and it will encapsulate these characters hello somewhere in its memory. Okay, and str is a reference to this object. So basically str is a reference to a string object. So this is the technical details about what we do with strings in Java. So once again, double quoted elements like these string literals cause compiler to allocate objects in memory, and what comes back is a reference to this object. So we get access to this object. And when we give a println method this reference to a string, the original string is not copied. We only share reference to the same object. So once again, when I have this string, which is an object which is already constructed right here, and when I pass the string to another method, so this other method will get access to the same object and not any kind of copy of it, just the same original object that was created in the first place. This operation is quite safe because once created, Java strings are immutable or constant or unchangeable or read-only. These are all synonyms to describe an object in memory which resides in read-only area, so that once created and populated with its original characters, it cannot change and stays constant, unchanged, until its memory is recycled and the object is destroyed.